The second question we wanted to discuss with you has to do with the advent of modern medicine and all that that entails. The question being the one that was brought up in the introduction video about if modern medicine really has improved our quality of life and has led to a longer lifespan. To begin this discussion is Anna Marin.
Yeah, there are a few things that come to my mind when I think of the quality of life and do we actually live much longer, and that is we have this natural capacity to live up to a certain old age, but not everyone makes it to this old age. So what are these factors that influence that I might reach a certain age, but my neighbor might not reach a certain age? And then when we try to apply this knowledge to archaeology, we have a second problem, and that is, as you've seen in the first module, our age at death estimations for old adults are not as accurate as they are for the other age categories. So it is very hard for us to distinguish a 60-year-old from a 70 or an 80-year-old. So it's very hard for us to look at that age category and try to come up with a good mortality profile.
Yeah, that's indeed a problem we have with the old adults, but something that we do have a lot of information about is the really young adults and their ages. And what we see archaeologically is that in past populations, the mortality rates for infants and young children are actually really, really high. In fact, in some archaeological populations, only half of the individuals who were born would actually make it to age 18. So that the pattern that we're seeing today in Western industrialized countries is really very different from that. In fact, it's unique when we compare it to what we see in the past.
Yes, absolutely. Unique and indeed quite a recent development. So for most of human history, there has been quite high infant mortality, and it's likely that very few individuals would make it into old adulthood. Those that did make it into old adulthood may well have lived for as many years as we're able to live for now. So there may not have been a change in our capacity for the number of years that we can potentially live for, but there definitely has been a change in the number of individuals that live for that long. And in this regard, we can definitely see how osteoarchaeological research has contributed to knowledge of modern populations and our understanding of the improvement that modern medicine has had in our everyday lives. Think about this for yourself, and if you'd like, we welcome you to discuss this in the online discussion forum.